What is going on, everyone? It's Hayden here, and today I'm going to be going over the top 7 podcasts that all young entrepreneurs or any entrepreneur should be listening to. Some of these podcasts are to do with social media marketing, some of them are to do with just entrepreneurship in general, and some of them are kind of life talks, because I think that you need a good balance of all three of them to really get a wide variety of opinions and that you can bring together to create something for yourself. I don't think that it's good just to listen to just social media marketing podcasts, just sales podcasts, whatever. I think that it's good to bring a variety of them together, and this is what I feel is the best group, and there's some of the top podcasts out there. So we're going to start with the top 2 entrepreneur podcasts for people who have built a business, and number 1 being Self-Made Man. Self-Made Man is a podcast by Mike Dillard. Well, he interviews people who have built a large business, and these are some of the largest businesses in the world. These aren't just small businesses. These are multi-million dollar, up to billion-dollar businesses of people that he's interviewed to learn how it is that they built it and the struggles that they went through. Another one that's like a story-based building podcast is How I Built This. How I Built This is one of my favorite podcasts because the host of it, Guy Raj, actually creates a storyline. He takes so much time and effort into editing through this, or his team at least does, and it is insane. It is a great podcast to listen to, and I would highly recommend it. Those two are kind of for anyone who's looking to learn more about businesses and how they built, and not really the technical side of things, but more of the struggles that entrepreneurs have gone through to get to where they are today. And it kind of gives you a sense of where you are now, because you'll see a lot of yourself in them, and then you can see how far they came in just the luck that happens and the hard work that they put in and how long it actually took for them to get to where they are today. On the self-wellness kind of podcast, that is the School of Greatness, and a lot of you guys have probably heard of this one. Lewis Howes hosts the School of Greatness, and it is a podcast, well, about being great, really. He can have people from business all the way to lifestyle, all over the place. His podcast really touches everything, and it is a great positive podcast that you guys would want to listen to on a daily basis. It's a great podcast that I would highly recommend for anybody who's looking for some more positivity and really a lifestyle balance when it comes to business and life and just a general well-being of your health. Now I've got 3 podcasts in the category of social media marketing and business in general. So my number 1 in this group is going to be the Social Media Marketing Podcast with Michael Stelzner. And if you guys haven't listened to this podcast and you're doing social media marketing, you are missing out. This is a great podcast when it comes to social media marketing. It teaches you guys exactly everything that needs to be going on in your life, everything that you need to be doing for social media marketing. It talks about the new things coming out. It has interviews. It has stories. It's a great podcast in general. Well produced, and I would highly recommend it. The next is strictly sales based. If you guys are having a hard time with sales, this is the podcast to listen to. This one is called The Brutal Truth About Sales and Selling, and it's about B2B, all types of different sales that you guys could possibly imagine. It is a great podcast when it comes to learning how to do more B2B or doing more sales in general. I would highly recommend it for anyone who really is having a hard time getting sales and are getting discouraged. This really shows you the best route when it comes to that and teaches you in depth on how to do better sales, how to get a better ratio when it comes to leads, how to follow up, all sorts of different things. I definitely would recommend it for anyone who needs help with their sales. My next one is, of course, the GaryVee audio experience. See, anyone who's ever listened to GaryVee or his audio experience knows that this is a pretty it is business related. It can be kind of broad at some points. Generally, it's social media marketing related more than anything, but it has got a lot of content, and he will throw out interviews, actual talks with you. He'll throw out everything. It's not like just a set podcast. It's really a mashup of everything, and there's content constantly being pushed out. If you are looking for just something random to listen to, this is the one for you, and it'll kind of cover everything. It can get a little bit repetitive because, you know, when you're listening to one guy about the same topic all the time, it does get a little repetitive, but when he's doing interviews with other people, you kind of get a new idea every once in a while. So it is definitely a podcast that I listen to every day, and it's one that I really recommend. And last but not least is obviously OBM's Social Media Marketing Podcast with no one other than me. If you guys want to check out my podcast, it's there. It's kind of gone from social media marketing to more of an interview style with other young entrepreneurs. It's kind of the route that I'm going with because I feel like I feel like there's not a lot of podcasts with just amateur entrepreneurs, and that's kind of what I'm going for here, along with teaching you guys some things. But it's just starting out. If you guys want to check that out, it is on iTunes and SoundCloud. All the lists to the rest of all the podcasts that I mentioned today, they are all going to be down below, so you guys can check out all the podcasts. Again, links down below. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if there's any podcasts that you guys think I missed, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, so that way I can check them out myself. Anyway guys, I appreciate you guys watching so much, and I will see you tomorrow. 3, 2, 1.